All right, you're recording.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Okay, so this video is gonna be visually a little boring compared to some of the other ones, because we're not talking much about individual tattoos or findings or stuff like that. We are talking about what makes a good tattoo, but not just any tattoo. If you want to like generic knowledge on this subject, you can always just Google and you'll find YouTube videos and tattoo pages giving you advice on how to avoid the latest Pinterest trend and not get hepatitis. Both important, but not what we're going to focus on here. What we're going to focus on with this video will be how to choose a Nordic or historical or ornamental artists, because it's a little bit more tricky. We are specialists, most of us, and as with anything else, there's of course grades of quality and, well, many factors. We'll get to that, but we will try and help you navigate through this forest of intense and dedicated creative people. I should probably mention why I'm doing this video. I am fully aware that I don't have time from now till I'm dead to tattoo all the people who want to get tattooed by me, which is amazingly a growing number. So to all of the people out there who's not going to get tattooed by me, I would also like you to get good tattoos. I would like you to find art that is worthy of your skin and artists that are worthy of you as canvases. That's the point and purpose of this video. To do this, Haywood and I are building a website. There'll be more about that later. We've mentioned this before. But we also have the Instagram account Northern Black that you should go to. There should be a link somewhere. And in our stories and feed, we will be posting, we already are, posting information about other Nordic tattoo artists that are worthy of your attention. Some of them might be closer to you regionally or closer to the style of art that you want. So go follow that. Also subscribe to our newsletter and all these things, all of this nonsense, blah, 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 blah. It's all in the, not the credit, but the text underneath here. Go check it out. Now, to what this video is actually about. Right, so number one. You're scrolling through the internet, Facebook, whatever, and you find a tattoo that you really like, and you fall in love with it, and you want that tattoo. Usually that doesn't happen. What you should be looking for is the inspiration and ideas, and preferably an artist where you don't just like one piece or two pieces of their work. You like most of it, like 80%, 90% of their work, because that means that whatever you develop between you and him, her, will be good. It will be to your liking. Very often people see one piece that they're in love with and they're like hypnotized by that, but the rest of what that artist does is not necessarily what they want. So it ends up either being a clash between artist and client before the tattoo even happens, because can't really reach an accord, or the client gets disappointed once the tattoo is done because it wasn't exactly what they wanted, and so on and so forth. Try to find someone where you know that most of what they do is something that you really like, because it's best that way. Second one. This is one of the more uncomfortable ones. There is some tattoo artists out there who will feel that I'm pointing fingers at them. If they feel that, they're right. Terrible but true. Quality. When choosing your tattoo artist, remember to check the quality. Instagram, for example, lets you zoom. Your computer lets you zoom on pictures. Quite important. Unless the quality of the picture is like really low res, you won't be able to see it. But in most cases nowadays, pictures are taken with smartphones or cameras of good quality, so you can actually see if the work is good. A I'll see if I can find some examples of work where the lines are nice and the dots are nice and all these things that we can add somewhere around my head, probably. Like a halo of nightmarish wolves tattooed on someone's skin. My point is, quality is really, really important, because quality is what makes a tattoo stand up through time and stand out as an exceptional piece. Someone might be good at scribbling on your skin and make something that looks really complicated and swirly, woo, crazy, but that doesn't mean that the tattoo will actually be good in 5 years or 10 years. The tattoo is going to follow you until the day you die, or someone skins you. And in the meantime, you would want to look good. So, line work, really, really important. A good, strong line is basically what carries the rest of the tattoo. And dot work, precise, nice dots. The more precise a dot is, or the dot work in general is, the better it will stand out through age. The more each dot will be isolated by skin and look good and strong as time goes by. Also, choice of color, knowing there's stuff like there's loads of ways of figuring out quality, but as a client, the easy way is to just zoom in on the pictures. If the lines are wonky and weird, or the dots is all like scratchy, chaotic, or if there's a general avoidance of doing clean work, if everything is just very like tribalistic, grungy, chaotic, that's usually an indicator that the creativity is there, but the skill set to perform the good tattoo is not. And again, if you feel that I'm pointing fingers at you and you're a tattoo artist, well, that's on you, mate.
Right. Who are you talking about in that instance?
I'm not going to say that on camera. She's just going to post it somewhere. Okay.
No.
Number 3. Attack on myself, really. So you should check out how people work. How the different artists that you're interested in, how is their creative process. Some clients want a lot of involvement in the creative process. Some don't want any. And as a tattoo artist, that can be really difficult to navigate. I try to have very, very clear, clean principles with my clients. I even have a video that you can check out on how I work for the same reason, to make it easy for clients to understand what the hell am I doing. I like a lot of creative freedom and artistic license, but I still want guidelines from my clients, like 5-10 keywords and 5-10 images, and then I'm happy, then I can work with that. Other artists want like full creative freedom, and others want their clients to bring loads of input, sketch themselves, or get someone to do the design even. It's very, very different. And you should find someone that works in a way that you're comfortable with, because otherwise it can be quite stressy and you are likely to end up with a result that is not what you're looking for. Essentially, I have my rhythms and my ways of doing things that makes me very calm in what I do. But if that, as a client, makes you uncomfortable and will give you a stressy time while you're getting tattooed and not get you the result you want, then I'm not the tattoo artist for you. I'm pedantic and pretty set in my ways, which is one of my many downfalls. I don't know, probably have a few. But all artists have their tells and things and weird kicks. And you should try and figure out if that's something you can deal with and work with, because again, we want you to have a good tattoo. I want you to go out and get a good tattoo. Number 4, this is another good one. Don't always trust the internet. Reading reviews is a really good thing, of course. And if you can find honest reviews about someone's work, go for it, check it out. But just because someone has a lot of followers on social media, that doesn't mean that they're good people or good tattoo artists or kind business people. kind business, where men and women, I don't know the term. Anyways, there's plenty of people out there with a huge following who are essentially just looking to take your money for an easy job. Or basically just wring the cloth and get as much out as they possibly can. This is bad business form. It's unnecessary, and probably karma will come and kick their proverbial behinds. But they are there. So when you fall in love with someone's work, have a good look and see what you can figure out. See if there's other clients you can talk to and figure out about their experience and all these things. It's a good idea. Number 5. This is a classic. Cleanliness and hygiene. If you walk into a tattoo studio and it's a mess, or your tattoo artist looks a mess, or you can just see that everything is actually unclean, then you're in the wrong space for getting tattooed. Tattoo studios should be clean, orderly, organized, and especially in these pandemic days, which definitely sounds like a David Bowie song. I know, as a private person, without any experience from like the kitchen industry or hospital industry, figuring out if something is clean or not can be tricky. But you can tell if something is dirty. If you can't tell, you've lived in your mom's basement for too long. So try to observe this. If you feel that you're in a tattoo studio that's actually grimy and grubby, just walk out. I mean, you might lose a deposit if you've placed one, but you don't want to get hepatitis or other weird infections, or COVID for that matter. Be aware that these days a lot of specialized tattoo artists have become more and more reclusive and hide away in private studios. Like my own, I do not have signs outside on the street. We hide behind closed doors because we don't want people to walk in and ask for, I don't know, anything really. We just want to be left alone and tattoo our clients. It's really simple. A lot of other tattoo artists are the same, and private studios is not necessarily a bad and dodgy thing anymore. That being said, kitchens or your cousin's garage, stuff like that, never that. That's always a bad sign. It needs to be a separate, clean space made for tattooing. And government approved, if government approval is needed, as it is here in England. Right, another good one. Number 6. I'm running out of fingers holding this coffee cup. Copy cuff? Professionalism. If your emails are rarely answered, or answered unprofessionally, I don't know. If everything is just, if you're treated disrespectfully, or you don't feel that the tattoo artist actually cares about you or has more care about your money and so on, it's probably not the right place to go and get tattooed. A professional attitude from the tattooist in all regards of the process, from first contact to booking and actual tattooing, it goes through the whole way. If there's any lapse in the professionalism and this positive and kind approach to the clients, it's likely to be a consistent thing. Find someone that you feel treats you the right way, if you find a tattoo artist that treats you like prey, if you feel that there is sexism, racism, any type of prejudice, walk away. Just fuck them. They're not worthy of your time, attention, or money. The end, don't even try. Just that kind of people deserves nothing good from you. Number 7. Choose someone that works within the genre you want. If you want something ornamental, historical, Nordic, Celtic, find an artist that has done this before and knows their stuff. All-round tattoo artists are still out there in the world, lots, but just because someone is an all-rounder doesn't mean that they can deliver something that is normally done by highly specialized artists. If you're just looking for a tattoo, a Nordic tattoo, most tattoo artists can knock it out if you've got the design, but if you want something that's exceptional, out of the ordinary, find someone who knows their stuff, who has performed within the genre many times before. And if someone's done a good Nordic sleeve in like black and grey portrait shading of Ragnar Lothbrok and so on and so forth, cool, then that's what they're good at. That doesn't mean that they know how to do a Nordic ornamental mummin style sleeve. It's very different things. I've come to realize over the years that for most non-artistic people, it's very difficult to tell the difference between any types of artwork, really. So that is why I'm trying to give you this piece of advice. I will see if we can add some pictures for your understanding. I'm not trying to condescend anyone here, but really trying to give you a tool to help choose the right person to do the job. And that is not saying that black and grey portrait sleeves of Nordic gods is bad compared to ornamental sleeves or anything. It's just different things. And you need to choose which one it is that you're looking for. Okay, number 8. Which is another of the unpleasant ones. If the tattoo artist is very hungry for your patronage, that might be a sign that they are more in it for your money than for the creativity and the fun of it. That's not, I mean, we do this for a living. This is our jobs. We are meant to earn money doing what we do. But if it seems that the tattoo artist is just trying to get you booked, trying to get you in as soon as possible, plenty of space in the calendar, let's just do this, blah, 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 blah. They're probably not necessarily, euphemisms. They're most likely looking for your wallet and not so much the actual quality of their own work. Of course, if they have a great portfolio and all this, then that might be different. And this is, when we're recording this, COVID days, everyone is a bit hungry. Try to gauge if it seems that the artist is just wanting your gold and doesn't really give a goat about the actual work. It's important. Okay. 9. The journey, the travel. I highly recommend that you adjust your mindset and enjoy the possibility of going on an adventure to get tattooed, like the Hobbit. He went to the Lonely Mountain and got tattooed. In some parallel universe, anyways. Most of my clients come from abroad, and to them and to me, it becomes a very enjoyable part of the whole thing that they have to travel in and experience a whole new part of the world to get tattooed. It is fun. It is expanding your horizon and your mindset. And being afraid of having to cross your county borders or country borders to get tattooed, it's a bit unnecessary if you find a tattoo artist that knows how to work with a client on a more compact time basis and all these things. And if you want the good stuff, the artist just might not be in your country. And dear Americans, I'm terribly sorry, but you only have like 1 or 2 good Nordic artists over there. It's sometimes easier to even just travel to a different country to get tattooed. I don't know why we shun your country. Maybe it's your politicians. I'm sorry. Okay. Number 10, jumping back a little bit. Creative freedom, artistic licensing and all these things. When you are with the tattoo artist and you've gone through the process of following these pieces of advice, let's assume that you've chosen the right artist. Once you've done that, you should let them do their thing. Trust their judgment. If they say, oh, we need to move the head of the snake a little bit, or these claws will look better than these claws on the bear, whatever. Trust them. They tend to know what they're doing. If you were too locked in with your own vision, you are likely to get a subpar result. I don't know if that's the right word. A little bit less brilliant result. You should make sure you get the best that you can get, and usually that's done by giving some creative freedom to the tattoo artist. So trust your artist, especially if it's someone that you have established a connection with already. Okay, number 11. This is the dangerous one, because historically speaking, tattoo artists don't like talking much about their pricings. One of the reasons for that is that it's really difficult to explain your prices. When someone wants a tattoo from you and they're like, how much for a sleeve? You might as well be going to a supermarket and ask, how much for a bag of groceries? Or to a florist and say, how much for a bunch of flowers? It doesn't work that way. It's a very, very fluid thing to figure out how much a sleeve is going to be. A sleeve can be very dense, very detailed and complicated, and on a very big person with bad skin. And then that tattoo is going to take a lot of time. Or it can be on a small young person with really good skin, not very complicated and not highly detailed, very graphic and easy to approach, and then it doesn't take a lot of time. So sleeve can range from a few thousand to 10,000 of whatever chosen currency you have, but I'm currently talking pound sterling. That being said, don't get ripped off. Make sure you establish with the tattoo artist what is the hourly rate or day rate or the full price for the project, so that, like, if the tattoo artist is willing to give you a full price. Most aren't. I am generally not myself, because you never know what you're working with until you get the client in your chair and you're actually working. But have clean lines and framework for this, so that you don't get unpleasantly surprised. And try not to get robbed. Like, if you get a quote for a tattoo that you feel sounds unlikely, go on Facebook, find a couple of the Nordic tattoo groups, post what you've been quoted. Don't necessarily mention the tattoo artist or anything, but just be like, this is the quote I was given. Does that sound realistic to you? Or ask the tattoo artist, why is it this expensive? Why so many days? What's the deal? Because I mean, I've seen tattoos posted, I've seen videos of tattoos that they're 4-day tattoos, 5-day tattoos at the most, but for some magic reason they took like 9-10 days, and the client paid for all that time, and that was not necessary. That was basically someone taking advantage of a situation of a client, and I don't feel that that's okay. If you as a tattoo artist feel that you need to take advantage of people to get their money out that way, you don't have enough work, and that means something's wrong with the way you work. And if you as a client feel that these prices are realistic, you might be getting tricked. That being said, here's the catch. Some artists are slower, some artists are more expensive, and some artists simply have a different process that takes more time. Some work a little bit slower to gain a better result, some work faster but has a little less quality. It's all different and it's all fluid. So this is not you must always be aware that you're gonna get robbed. It's more of be careful and be aware. You don't have to be mugged in broad daylight. I know, it's a difficult subject, it's a dangerous one. And I mean, there's undoubtedly people who will be offended by me even talking about this subject. But it is the truth that there are people out there who's just in this for the money. They're done with the creativity. They don't bother with it anymore. They just want to milk the gold off the calf. Cow? Calves don't have milk. Not so important. Be aware of that one. Anyways, that concludes my how to get tattooed, how to choose the right tattoo artist, how to not get mugged rant. Feel free to leave comments below, questions and all these things. We try to answer them if it's answerable. Be aware that everything I say in these videos is from my own perspective. I can't speak for the industry at large and all these things. It's just what I've experienced through time and based on my own personal view of the genre of art that tattooing is. Also, go follow us on Instagram, Facebook, subscribe to our newsletter, don't set yourself on fire while you're cooking, and don't pet strange dogs before asking permission from the owner. Thank you.